Ustr U.S. Trade Representative. Chapter 1. Trade info at USTR.gov, U.S. Trade Representative. United States Trade Representative. 600 17th Street Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20508. USTR.gov. Twitter.com/UStraderep. Facebook.com/pages/office-of-the-United-States-trade-representative. Instagram.com/ustraderep/?HL=N. USTR.gov/countries-regions/Japan-Korea-APEC/APEC, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, Forum and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, which has a trade and investment framework arrangement with the United States. USTR.gov/trade-agreements/free-trade-agreements, free trade agreements. USTR.gov/about-us/oaks/careers, careers. USTR.gov/about-us-human-capital-and-services/careers/student-internship-program, internship. U.S. government trade agencies at USTR.gov/about-us/trade-toolbox/us-government-trade-agencies. USDA.gov, Department of Agriculture. FAS.USDA.gov, Foreign Agricultural Service. Commerce.gov, Department of Commerce. BIS.commerce.gov, Bureau of Industry and Security. Commerce.gov, Department of Commerce. Trade.gov/index.asp, International Trade Administration. Commerce.gov, Department of Commerce. Trade.gov/CS, U.S. Commercial Service. Commerce.gov, Department of Commerce. Trade.gov/CS, U.S. Commercial Service. Energy.gov/index.htm, Department of Energy. pi.energy.gov/links.html, Policy and International Affairs. DHS.gov, Department of Homeland Security. CBP.gov, Customs and Border Protection. DOL.gov, Department of Labor. DOLATA.gov/Trade Act, Trade Adjustment Assistance. State.gov, Department of State. State.gov/E/EEB/TPP/BTA, Bilateral Trade Affairs. State.gov, Department of State. PMDDDC.state.gov, Directorate of Defense Trade Controls. State.gov, Department of State. State.gov/E/EB/TPP/MTA, Multilateral Trade and Agricultural Affairs. State.gov, Department of State. State.gov/E/EEB/TPP/IPE, Intellectual Property Enforcement. Treasury.gov, Department of the Treasury. Trees.gov/topics/international, international. Treasury.gov, Department of the Treasury, Office of Foreign Asset Controls. EPA.gov, Environmental Protection Agency. EPA.gov/international-cooperation, international programs. EPA.gov, Environmental Protection Agency. EPA.gov/climate change/index.html, climate change. EXIM.gov, Export-Import Bank. FDA.gov/OIA/homepage.htm, Food and Drug Administration, Office of International Programs. OPIC.gov, Overseas Private Investment Corporation. SBA.gov/abouts/BA/SBA program/international trade/index.html, Small Business Administration, International Trade. USAID.gov, U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. USIDC.gov, U.S. International Trade Commission. USDTA.gov, U.S. Trade and Development Agency, USDA. Congress World Trade Websites. Ways and Means.house.gov, House Ways and Means Trade Subcommittee. finance.senate.gov, Senate Finance Committee. loc.gov/index.html, Library of Congress. thomas.gov, Thomas. Judiciary World Trade websites. cit.uscourts.gov, U.S. Court of International Trade. cafc.uscourts.gov, U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit. supremecourtus.gov, U.S. Supreme Court. Other World Trade websites. trade.gov, trade.gov. export.gov, export.gov. tradeagreements.gov, tradeagreements.gov. trade.gov/AGOA, AGOA.gov. manufacturing.gov, manufacturing.gov. business.gov, business.gov. regulations.gov, regulations.gov. cpsc.gov/n/business-manufacturing/import-safety, importsafety.gov. Chapter 2. World Trade Info. Country and regional info at usdr.gov/countries-regions. Links to most countries. Americas. Angola. Argentina. Australia. B. Bahrain. Bangladesh. Benin. Bolivia. Botswana. Brazil. Brunei Darussalam. Burkina Faso. Burma. Burundi. C. Cambodia. Cameroon. Canada. Cape Verde. Caucasus region. Central African Republic. Chad. Chile. China, Mongolia and Taiwan. Colombia. Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, CUMSA. Comoros. Costa Rica. Côte d'Ivoire. D. Democratic Republic of Congo. Djibouti. Dominican Republic. E. Ecuador. Egypt. El Salvador. Equatorial Guinea. Eritrea. Ethiopia. Europe and Middle East. European Union. G. Gabon. Gambia. Ghana. Guatemala. Guinea. Guinea-Bissau. H. Haiti. Honduras. Hong Kong. I. Iceland. India. Indonesia. Israel. J. Japan. Japan, Korea and APEC. Jordan. K. Kazakhstan. Kenya. Korea, South. Kuwait. L. Laos. Lesotho. Liberia. M. Madagascar. Malawi. Malaysia. Mali. Mauritania. Mauritius. Mexico. Mongolia. Morocco. Mozambique. N. Namibia. Nepal. New Zealand. Nicaragua. Niger. Nigeria. Norway. O. Oman. P. Pacific Islands. Pakistan. Panama. Paraguay. Peru. Philippines. Q. Qatar. R. Republic of Congo. Russia and Eurasia. Rwanda. S. Sao Tome and Principe. Saudi Arabia. Senegal. Sierra Leone. Singapore. Somalia. South and Central Asia. South Africa. Southeast Asia and Pacific. Sri Lanka. Sudan. Switzerland. T. Taiwan. Tanzania. Thailand. The People's Republic of China. Togo. Turkey. U. Uganda. Ukraine. United Arab Emirates. United Kingdom. Uruguay. V. Venezuela. Vietnam. Z. Zambia. Zimbabwe. Issues at usdr.gov/issue-areas. Agriculture, labor, economy and trade preference programs. Enforcement services and investment. Environment. Small business. Equity and trade. Government procurement. Textiles and apparel. Industry and manufacturing. Trade and development. Intellectual property. Trade organizations. Country profile websites at usdr.gov/about-a/trade-toolbox/country-profiles. state.gov/r/pa/ei/bgn, U.S. State Department background notes. cia.gov/library/publications/the-world-factbook/index.html. He World Factbook. wto.org/english/res_e/publications_e/trade_profiles08_e.htm. WTO Trade Profiles. stat.wto.org/country profile/WSDB country pf reporter.aspx ? Language =e. Interactive version of WTO Trade Profiles. Trade websites at usdr.gov/trade-topics/trade-toolbox/trade-links. usdr.gov/trade-agreements/free-trade-agreements, free trade agreements. usdr.gov/trade-agreements/trade-investment-framework-agreements, trade and investment framework agreements. usdr.gov/trade-agreements/bilateral-investment-treaties, bilateral investment treaties. usdr.gov/trade-agreements/other-initiatives, other initiatives. usdr.gov/countries-region/south-central-Asia, South and Central Asia. usdr.gov/countries-region/China-Mongolia-Taiwan, China, Mongolia, and Taiwan. usdr.gov/countries-region/Japan-Korea-APEC, Japan, Korea, and APEC. usdr.gov/countries-region/United-States, United States Trade Data. afdb.org, African Development Bank Group. adb.org, Asian Development Bank, ADB. ebrd.org/index.htm target =_blank, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD. iadb.org, Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. BIS.org, Bank for International Settlements, BIS. Worldbank.org, World Bank. IMF.org/external, International Monetary Fund. IFC.org, International Finance Corporation, International Finance Corporation. UN.org, United Nations, UN. unctad.org/templates/startpage.asp?int emid=2068, UNCTAD. FAO.org, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. UN.org/ECOSOCDEV, Economic and Social Development, United Nations. UNDP.org, United Nations Development Program. OECD.fr, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. WCOOMD.org, World Customs Organization. WIPO.int/index.html.n, World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. AGOA.gov, AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act. apeccc.org.sg/apec.html, APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. ASEANZC.org/home.htm, ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. usdr.gov/trade-agreements/free-dr-Dominican-Republic-Central-America-FTA. CAFTA-DR, CAFTA-DR. Comunidadandina.org/index.htm, CAN, Andean Community. CARICOM.org, CARICOM, Caribbean Community and Common Market. CEMAC.cf, CEMAC, Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa. CIS.minsk.by/main.aspx?UID =74, CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States. CUMSA.in/about, CUMSA, Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. ECOCCRETARIAT.org, ECO, Economic Cooperation Organization. EFTA.int, EFTA, European Free Trade Association. Europa.eu/index_n.htm, EU27, European Union. FTA-alca.org/alca_e.asp, FTAA, Free Trade Area of the Americas. GCC-sg.org/eng, GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. G77.org/GSTP, GSTP, Global System of Trade Preferences among Developing Countries. Mercosur.int. Southern Common Market. Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. NAFTA-sec-alena.org/n/view.aspx?x=343, NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, Canada, Mexico, United States. OAS.org, OAS, Organization of American States. OPEC.org, OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. SARC-sec.org/main.php, SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. DFA.gov.za/foreign/multilateral/africa/sacu.htm, SACU, South African Customs Union. SADC.int, SADC, South African Development Community. Export assistance and bank websites at usdr.gov/trade-topics/trade-toolbox/export-assistance. By USA.gov/home, the United States Commercial Service, USCS, is the trade promotion arm of the International Trade Administration within the United States Department of Commerce. By USA.gov/home/export.html, find an Export Assistance Center. Export.gov/eac/index.asp, contact a trade specialist near you. Export.gov/finance/exp_topinto_financing.asp, U.S. Government International Financing Programs. By usainfo.net/adsearch.cfm?search_type =int load nav $no, U.S. Commercial Service Market Research Library. Export.gov/logistics/exp_docs_forms.asp, Common Export Documents. Export.gov/regulation/exp_reg_licenses.asp, Export Licenses. Export.gov/trade-events/exp_trade_events_index.asp, Trade Events. tcc.export.gov/report_a_barrier/index.asp, Report a Trade Barrier. Export.gov, Export.gov brings together resources from across the U.S. government to assist American businesses in planning international sales strategies and succeeding in today's global marketplace. Export.gov was also created to provide better customer service for businesses interacting with the federal government. Trade.gov, U.S. Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration manages Export.gov. Export.gov/mrktresearch/index.asp, Market Research. Export.gov/tradeleads/index.asp, Trade Leads. Trade.gov/cs, U.S. Department of Commerce's Commercial Service to Export Finance Information. Exim.gov, Export-Import Bank. SBA.gov, Small Business Administration. Agricultural Export Assistance. USDA.gov/WPS/portal/%sign 2 1UT/P/_7_score S.7_0__0_B?/Nav_equals sign SU_NAV_SAN_NAVID=sign marketing_trade, Export.gov helps American exporters navigate the international sales process and avoid pitfalls such as non-payment and intellectual property. Exim.gov, the U.S. Export-Import Bank, Ex-Im Bank. OPIC.gov, the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, OPIC. USDA.gov, U.S. Trade and Development Agency.